What's up, y'all? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is yours truly. No intro tonight. No intro music or nothing tonight. Just kind of actually just gonna kick it, keep it nice and simple, man. This is another night of course, yours truly, Alex Auguste here for another night of VividLife TV, right here on YouTube and Twitch. We're keeping it simple, man. We're not really doing too much with the other platforms. I'm gonna talk about that, man, because there's a lot of new updates. But I'm excited to be back, yo. I'm glad to be back streaming. It's been a little while, yo. We've been kind of quiet a little bit, but shit, I'm glad to be back streaming. Like I said, glad to be back on here and glad to be connected back with y'all as we get into this, man. Today is December 4th, 2024, and first and foremost, this stream is called allow me to reintroduce myself for a couple of reasons. Number one, because today is Jay-Z's birthday, and it's kind of funny because I always bring that up whenever it's December 4th. And how I always remember that it's Jay-Z's birthday is that I remember his line from Watch the Throne, which is, I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died. Real niggas just multiply, which is like, like, I tell people all the time, I didn't really grow up on Jay. I didn't really grow up listening to Hove like that all the time. But that is one of my favorite lines of all time. Just like Watch the Throne is one of my favorite albums of all time. So that's one of those reasons that today's show is going to be called that. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then also just from the standpoint of regalvanizing these streams, there's a lot of new stuff, right? The 1 year anniversary of VividLife TV is actually coming up next week, December 13th. I do plan on doing a short stream for that night, and I just wanted to actually get this going and give everybody an opportunity to kind of get back into it, specifically myself. Streaming is hard, bro. Like, I tell anyone who's interested in streaming, some people, there's two types of people who are interested in streaming. Either people who are super optimistic, they watch the Kai Cenats, they watch the iSpeeds, they watch all those people and they're just like, yeah, I can do it. I've had a podcast, whatever. Or there's people who are just like, I really don't want to do that, right? It looks hard, it looks taxing, whatever the case may be. And for both of those people, I like to say that firsthand, I could tell you that it is a challenge. It's different. But I came from a world of live radio. And so with that being said, man, I just enjoy being able to connect with people in real time. I enjoy creating the content in real time with people watching versus trying to like do it behind the scenes and then edit it and cut it and all these kind of things and then kind of dish it out and stuff like that. So with this, I could actually just, create these things as I go, right? I can kind of come here and as I'm talking, have all of these setups here and basically kind of clip. I just created a clip right now, like just creating clips on Twitch that I can then use on social media afterwards. So I really, really love it. With it being a year, man, I wanted to do things that were dope. I wanted to kind of create things that were kind of cool. So we're going to talk a lot about the new things that I've been having under development for the last couple weeks. But first things first, man, I want to tell y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. And thank you for just supporting, man. I know that I've earned a follow and I've earned a subscription from pretty much everyone who watches these streams. I know the folks that be watching this, that watch this as frequently as possible. My mother, my sister-in-law, my brother, all my people that watch this and just kind of enjoy it. And I'm going to talk about first and foremost what we're doing tonight, and then just talk about how I'm going to kind of set this up and how we're going to roll. So I have been really digging and drilling into videography for the last, realistically, 3 years. I watched the video today because I want to do this new series on my Instagram or just across my socials where I talk about like what it was like shooting my first video. And I can't really ever put my finger on what my first video was. But regardless of what video that is, whether it was in a gym or at an event or while I was traveling or whatever the case may be, that video kind of really jump-started everything and pushed things in a direction that's kind of cool, man. And so with that, I'm now at the point that I am now creating more videos and just so much deeper in the bag of creating as a whole, which I think is kind of dope. And one of the things that I've been working on as of recent for clients and really pitching out to folks are these birthday videos. I saw a post on Threads the other week that mentioned that, like, you know, the ideal client for videographers is very, very difficult to find. And I think that is very true. You think that you can shoot a video and you'll shoot videos for clients and you'll have them on retainers and all these terms and things that you hear on social media, but it's not necessarily always the case. And the argument that the person was making in the post was that, you know, businesses, sometimes they only need you on a one-off, right? Or they need you as they need you. And then personal individuals, they only need you on one-offs as well, right? So it's like you're always chasing the next opportunity that's needed with video. And that can be tiring, that can be exhausting. And so for me, rather than trying to chase the opportunity, I had the idea of just constantly creating these pockets of, hey, this is what I'm doing next. And this is on a rolling basis. So it's not really anything that you have to like miss out on or anything like that. And I came up with the idea of birthday videos. I feel like birthday videos, I talked about this on my Instagram live, on my Instagram today, on my stories. Right now, the trend is that everyone does this video where they like put their candle in their mouth and then they light the candle like they're smoking a cigarette. And then they put the candle in the cake. And then it's like, that's their birthday video. And I don't know where this trend came from. I don't know why we're doing this trend. But the trend is, I think it's whack. I actually think the trend is it's whack, man. I think it's not creative, and it doesn't make sense. And I think it's a really good example of when we all start doing something that just doesn't fit. It fits the trend. It doesn't fit our brand, right? Because I immediately think of, number one, you put that candle in your mouth, now you're gonna put it in the cake, right? Number two, that like if you don't smoke, or if you never publicly smoke, or if you don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that, the gesture of smoking the candle doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't. Does that resonate with who you are, right? And that's where I got the idea of like, well, let's create videos that speak to who people are, bro. Like you can create a video and create the backbone of a video and have it be some dope stuff that speaks to who you are, right? Maybe you do smoke and you smoke weed and you live in a state where smoking is legal. Okay, well, sit down in front of your cake and smoke, right? Like do the things for your birthday video that represent not only you, but maybe also the era in of your life that you're in, right? And so that had me thinking really, really hard about my birthday. My birthday's coming up very soon. We're actually just over a month from my birthday, and I've just been thinking about like what, reflecting, right? Reflecting on it. What era am I in, man? Like what era do I want to initiate for, my next big birthday, which this is a milestone year for me. So like what do I want to represent? What do I want to have? And with that, man, what I want to do on tonight's stream, after we talk, after we catch up, after we chat, of course, is just show the process of what goes behind like creating a video. This is not for every video, and I'll talk a little bit about that, but I would just want to show the behind the scenes of like how the ideation comes together and how we make all of that come together. So that's what I'm going to be doing on the stream. Glad to be back. Like I mentioned, that's kind of the intro. But as normal, y'all, if you're tuned in right now, be sure to hit the like button and give me a share. Show me a share, show me some love, drop a comment, engage. And of course, we're going to keep this chat nice and open throughout the evening to keep things going and jumping. I love being on YouTube, y'all. I just love being out here on the stream with y'all and just, of course, creating the content that comes from this. So we're going to talk a little bit about much, but let me just drop this in the chat really quick as you guys say what's up. Welcome to another one, man. Chat, what's up? guys long. But yeah, I just want to give you guys let you guys know where you know what's been going on over the last couple of weeks, where you're tuning in from. So I haven't done a stream since what I like to call the abysmal Vivid Nights solo soiree stream. That was bad, bro. It was really bad. I got off of the stream that night, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna try my best to make my YouTube as raw and vulnerable and transparent as possible. That stream was trash, man. And it hurt my soul that it was trash, because I had put it on my calendar for so long, and I was like, yo, this is gonna happen. It was one of those, like, I put it on the calendar when I started the stream, that in October I'm going to do a live performance on the stream, and it could have been more and all this kind of stuff, right? I'm not gonna harp on that, but the quality was bad, and I was doing experimental things with the overall setup that I did not know was going to turn out that way. It ended up making sense in the long run why it didn't sound great, but I just decided to take a little bit of a rest, and kind of check the temperature on myself on whether or not that experience made me hungrier for streaming, or if it made me kind of feel like, you know what, it's time to wrap this up, hang up the boots, and give up the whole idea up, right? To my own optimism, it made me actually kind of like really lock in the following week. And I don't know if I remember mentioning this on the stream, but the following week I had a performance out here in Tampa, where I was able to actually perform those songs, and it was a hit. Like, the performances went really, really well. My stage, I think, having had the experience with the stream and how bad it went, kind of gave me like a confidence to get on stage and just get it right. Like, all the things that I did on the stream just made it just came to that show that night and really felt like, man, you know what? Like, this is not the stream. We can have fun, right? Put your shoulders down, unclench your jaw, and bro, like, you know this music like the back of your hand, bro. Just have fun, right? This is some easygoing shit. Let's go. Let's do it. So the performances went really well. Still got video footage from that's going to be uploaded and posted to YouTube and the socials and everything like that. I'm actually working with the video content now. And that was just a really great kickoff to say, you know what, man, in this world of being a creator, and I say this all the time, everything ain't going to be perfect. Everything is not going to be perfect. Some things are going to be abysmal. Did I delete the stream? I did, right? I did, right? Just it doesn't need to be up. The quality on it that you all saw on the live side was probably 5 times better than the quality of the audio on once the video itself processed. I don't know why, but what I heard when I watched the video playback was not what you guys was hearing. And I know that because no one mentioned how off the music was. Like, the music volume was bad, things like that. You couldn't hear the music. The music was louder than the audio, but like, once it processed, it sounded crazy. It sounded like I was rapping on a lapel microphone in the Titanic, trying to rap on beat to a beat that was being played through 2-cup telephone across the Grand Canyon while it wasn't on beat. It sounded absolutely terrible. So unfortunately, I had to take that down. But like I said, man, it prepared me for the performance, and also was the temperature check that I needed to really be like, you know what? We are going to keep streaming. We're going to keep getting creative with these streams, and we're going to keep doing our thing. This is a really important piece of my communication to people who follow me and to subscribe to me. And not for nothing, YouTube is truly not going anywhere. So might as well just keep it going. So that's been the really big thing, really big takeaway that I've had. Streamers talk about it all the time. You know, you start off with 4, 5, 6 viewers, and then the 4, 5, 6 viewers becomes more, right? You just got to keep on doing your thing. And I stay encouraged by that. So this is a new cycle of streams starting with today, and then going all the way out to about March. And so with that, I do want to let you guys know that there are opportunities for guests. There are opportunities for guest drop-ins, and opportunities for overall just for people to be engaged and be part of these streams as well. Y'all know that we can do either in person or side by side on the digital side of things. So just want to make sure that I get that out there before we get into the nitty gritty of all these dope things. It is officially, like I mentioned, December 4th. And the other part of December 4th, I'm acknowledged is shout out to the Alphas, man. Shout out to all of the ice cold brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha. I know it's y'all Founders Day, and it's cold today. Always good when it's cold on Alpha Founders Day, because then all of the cool jokes and the chill and ice cold and all of those jokes actually land, right? Because when it's warm on December 4th, those jokes don't land. Okay, so, well, for real, 118 years, that's pretty dope. And want to give a shout out to them for that. So today is also, like I mentioned earlier, it's Jay-Z's birthday. I plan on just kind of just mellow, very, very chill, kind of kicking it to some Jay-Z music. I'm gonna just kind of gently play this in the background. Y'all heard my bedroom. That's supposed to be my bedroom speaker, but that's not my bedroom speaker. But my speaker there start playing. So we're going to kind of keep that in the background of this stream while we chat, while we talk. But like I mentioned, man, we're going to get into some topics on the docket. And I cannot wait to talk about these things with y'all, because it's been so long, right? There's been a couple weeks of us not being able to chit chat about this stuff. But there's been a lot going on. So we'll get into that. But first things first, definitely want to get, let me make sure that I'm set up here for this. Doesn't look like we are. Give me one quick sec. But yeah, man, while I'm getting set up, y'all just drop in the chat. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Let me know how you're tuning in. I'm still encouraging y'all to stream VividLife TV. Cast it on your TVs, cast it on your biggest screen, whatever biggest screen you have possible. Stream it there, cast it there, man, and enjoy watching YouTube like TV. Fun fact, I didn't know people didn't do that. I really do enjoy watching YouTube like it's TV. So, all right, I'm gonna get this going real quick. Make sure I have this, because y'all know sometimes you will Chrome be tripping. It's one of those times. Outside of in the last couple of weeks to go back home to Miami, and with discussion and conversation about Miami, we are definitely going to be talking about Art Basel, or Art Week Miami, which is literally this weekend. I am going to be in attendance, as I always am. I like it that I like my year. I also consider my fiscal year ends December 13th, December 12th actually ends December 12th, picks back up the very next day, December 13th. So that's the kind of the calendar that I keep for my business, everything like that. Give me a second, y'all. But like I said, while we wait, y'all just drop in the chat, man. Share your thoughts. Say what's up. Drop in on a check-in. Really going to be talking about a lot of changes that have been happening, specifically with social media, and even with my social media vision. And so I'm going to be inviting y'all to that too, because things are getting dope where they're getting dope, and they're getting nope where they're getting nope. You get what I'm saying? So be mindful of that. But I'm gonna use this time real quick to just share out our stream tonight and get that over to all of the good people on our other social media platforms. So while this thing saves up and while we get this going, y'all just use this little break here. All right, here we go. Share. It looks and feels as though everything that I have is on some sort of a little bit of a lag, and it's kind of crazy right now. We're definitely gonna have to call this part of the stream like the nothingness part as I kind of get situated, man. My bad, y'all. This could have definitely been done beforehand, but ran into some issues. So I apologize for a little bit of the downtime. But this is a edit and chill stream. This is considered one of those. We are going to talk about some things and talk about some topics, but definitely going to be getting into the nitty gritty of that in about the next 12 or so minutes. So I'm really trying to rush to do this because I want to make sure that the bulk of our time spent on this stream is done, you know, actually in the in-depth part of the stream, which is going to be building out this treatment for the video. So just give me a second while I do this. Hopefully the music is low enough. Hopefully the music is low enough to, you know, keep the copyrights off my ass. We got Michael coming in. What's up, man? The Russians got his ass, not me. All right. Okay, that's probably Mike. What up, Mike? I got no passion. I got no patience, and I hate waiting. So all right. So I think good almost. Let me get this whole thing situated. We're almost there, promise. But I'm glad y'all are chiming in. I'm glad y'all are checking in. All right. Cool. Somebody try to tap in from you. Someone try to tap in from Ukraine. Yo, I hope that the better answer is that I'm just, you know, my computer's overloaded because I got all this stuff hooked up into it. But I started noticing, man, I've actually really been having some issues with these streams kind of lagging like this over the last couple of go arounds, man. I don't know what it is. So hopefully it's nothing too serious and hopefully it's nothing external because me and the boys were actually talking about that earlier about how like we're experiencing from like every angle right now is crazy. Like I got spam on Telegram, WhatsApp, text messages, email, spam likely phone calls. Like it's nonstop and it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So all right, let's get into it. So let's go straight into the question, man. I with it being Jay-Z's birthday, I'm always curious to know this because I didn't grow up. Let me not say I didn't grow up listening to Jay-Z. I sound like a jit. I sound like a Gen Zer. But my experience was that I was never like a diehard Jay-Z fan until a particular album came out, and that particular album was the album that made me like, okay, like I'm now listening to Jay-Z because I want to listen to Jay-Z versus everyone telling me that I should be listening to Jay-Z and Jay-Z's the hottest artist around, right? I'm not going to tell y'all what album that is as of yet because I'm curious to know what it is for y'all. But the question of the night, man, is what Jay-Z album resonates the most with you and why? Like, what was the first Jay-Z album that you listened to that just made you like, all right, like, you know, this is for me. Like, this is the album for me. My answer is gonna be crazy, and I hope I don't get like my hip hop card revoked or anything like that, because I feel like it's very easy to say. It's very easy to say, oh, Reasonable Doubt. Yeah, I feel you. But like, I feel like a lot of us didn't listen to Reasonable Doubt for real on our own whim in the beginning. I'm from Florida, so I'm kind of speaking for myself. I don't remember listening to Reasonable Doubt as a kid. I was listening to Tupac. I was listening to Biggie. I was listening to a lot of other people, right? So Reasonable Doubt did not touch any CD player of any sort in the beginning. From there, right, we have the times of Sean Carter. I love both versions. I prefer two. Then you have the Blueprint, which is kind of like the Holy Grail, kind of up there in terms of, overall popularity and stuff like that. Blueprint 2, the Black Album, all that kind of stuff, right? Then Kingdom Come, American Gangster, Blueprint 3, Watch the Throne, Magna Carta, Holy Grail, The Carters, 444, and then I think that's it, right? Wow, I named all the Jay-Z albums. That's crazy. I didn't used to be able to do that. For me, the Jay-Z album that resonated first the most with me. Oh, I forgot about La Rock Familia, the compilation. It was actually La Rock Familia, right? It was kind of all of Jay-Z's like side projects in the early 2000s that actually made me feel more like, okay, like this is really resonating. But it was actually Kingdom Come that really, and I know that is probably Jay-Z's least popular album ever. Like, I feel like every great artist has that album that they talk about, and then people are just like, can you just pretend like that album doesn't exist? Kendrick has Untitled, Unmastered, and I feel like Jay-Z has Kingdom Come, where you talk about Kingdom Come and people just act like it didn't happen, which is crazy because Dust Your Shoulders Off is on that album. What else is on that album? Hollywood is on that album. Like, there's quite a bit of albums. I mean, there's quite a bit that are on that, but the more mature Jay-Z finally saying, like, you know what? I'm going to step it up and I'm going to kind of grow up a little bit more. Like, I'm going to stop with all of the, like, the really kiddie stuff. Not kiddie, but like he talks about being 35, 36 and how old is that and the maturity. This is like Def Jam president Jay-Z. This is really Jay-Z in a suit Jay-Z. American Gangster was definitely that, but that was so connected to the movie that at the time I kind of felt like, all right, maybe this is just for the movie. But like Kingdom Come to me felt like a rapper entering his 30s and 40s. And the way it was maturely done was like, I'm gonna still talk about double entendres about selling Coke and Diet Coke and all these kind of things, but like, nah, we're not on that no more. Like we're elevating, and I love that. Did you mention the Black Album? Yeah, I mentioned the Black Album. I mentioned the Black Album briefly, kind of in short. So yeah, my first album, Jay-Z, that I felt like resonated with me on a different level, and Kingdom Come also came out in my going into my senior year or junior year or one of the school years, where it was just like, all right, like life is getting a little bit more serious. And so it was one of those albums that was just like, he's talking about turning 30 and I'm turning like 17 or 18, but I'm like, all right, like there is a level of maturity that you've got to hit where things change. And I love that, right? Yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys say. Because I was also going to say that 444, interestingly enough, I didn't like 444 at first. And 444 was also one of those albums that made me realize that I don't like hip hop critique anymore. I don't like hip hop conversations. I don't really enjoy bloggers and vloggers talking about albums and doing their first listens and then me listen to it. Like, I prefer to put on an album on shuffle and just listen to the sound without knowing what the songs are called and taking it from there. And 444, I did that and I was like, I listened to the vloggers first, And their take on Jay-Z's album it was frustrating. It was like, what are you guys talking about? And so I think my first dose of that album, I just didn't like it. And now it's one of my favorite, honestly, one of my favorite albums. And right now, I've been working on, this is probably going to come out around my birthday as well. My top 150, well, let's say 100, my top 100 albums of all time. 444 might be in there. I don't know where at yet. I'm still working on the list. But 444 is like a great album. And again, it's Jay-Z like elevating himself in terms of his maturity. Some of it is in response to Lemonade and different stories. But I was okay with that because I'm like, it's two of y'all under one household. I know some of them Beyonce songs be playing, and Jay, you know, what does he do? You walk out, like you got to confront those stories. So I don't know. I liked it a lot. 444. I love Behind Their Eyes discussion that he has about Prince, you know, Gloria, the OJ Simpson song, Kill Jay-Z. Like I like that album. Honestly, I really, really, really like the album. But yeah, other albums. I like the Blueprint 3. But I feel like it's overlooked a lot, and I don't know why. I got to come back to that. But yeah, man, that's my hot takes on Jay-Z. Y'all let me know in the comments, like what are your what Jay-Z album resonates most with you? Like what is that album for you? And speaking of music, the Spotify Wrapped has dropped. That's popular right now. Everybody's posting their raps. It's rap season. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. Everyone's end of year summaries are coming out. My top artist has shifted a little bit because Kanye is not in the top anymore. But mine is not going to be as accurate as possible because I recently switched over from Spotify to YouTube Music. So both are kind of telling a half story about this year. So it is what it is. But while we talk about music, man, I think we absolutely have to talk Kendrick Lamar, dog. We absolutely have to talk about Kendrick Lamar. And specifically what I want to talk about with Kendrick Lamar is the level of numbers that this man is putting up. People can talk about all that they want to talk about Kendrick, but I did the research. And they're saying that Kendrick's not having that big of a year. Drake has had bigger years. Blase, hoopla, right? But at the end of the day, these are the numbers that I pulled and that you can find. And these are real numbers that happened this year. None of this is fake. This is not an academic stream. It's just, I'm looking at Kendrick and I'm saying this man is having easily the run of the 2000s. To the 2010s or this millennium, like this century. Like, yes, 50, we can always talk about how 50 bulldozed over Ja Rule and put himself in the limelight, but I don't even think it was maybe 3 years later, maybe 4 years later, 50 would lose in his sales to Kanye West for Graduation. That competition came and he lost to a backpack, non-killing, artistic Chicago nigga, right? An art school dude. Who else? T.I. didn't have this kind of year. Drake, after back-to-back, possibly, but Drake didn't have a year like this. You're talking about the first piece of it all, really. Future and Metro Boomin like that. The song went certified platinum early is God knows when. The Drake disses, and we're talking about Euphoria, we're talking about 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us, 4-pack, right? 473.6 million views on YouTube. Crazy work. The Kenny and Friends, 16,000 tickets sold, 100,000 people trying to go to the freaking concert, right? Power 106 played Kendrick Lamar's music from 6 a.m. to midnight. They changed the name of the station to Kendrick 106. He now holds the record for the most minutes watched on a stream on Amazon Music Video and Twitch. All of Amazon's video streaming platforms, which includes Twitch, he now owns the total and highest number of minutes watched. And that's just because how many people were watching through the whole program. Kendrick also got the halftime show. We know about that. Kendrick drops GNX 11 days ago. And in his first week hits 330 units sold, right? That's almost gold in the first week. Has he had bigger releases? Absolutely he has. Has he had bigger releases with a surprise release? He absolutely has not, because he's never done that before. So that's a good week. Album's going to go gold. It's probably going to go platinum very, very quickly. Squabble Up is doing numbers in the streets. And then now he has announced the GNX tour with SZA. Like, this is like Kendrick. You're not going to be able to run away from Kendrick Lamar's name for the next year. And they're talking about the possibility that this man is going to drop another album next week. You're not going to be able to run away from Kendrick Lamar for the next year. Drake is not being bulldozed. Drake is not being back-to-backed. He is literally being bodied by a LA nigga. Like, and so with Kendrick's like success, right? Because I like to bring these things home and just think about it. It's like, how do you create what is the takeaway? Like, what could I take away from the level of success that this man is having? And I came up with a few things, right? Just a few little topics that y'all should really keep close to us, right? And number one, it's real simple. It's real, dog. Number one, keep firm boundaries between you and your ops. Not to say that everyone has ops. I don't think that everyone has ops. I think that word is kind of overly used, and you should probably not use it, because if you have ops, you should consider yourself to have people who want you dead. I don't know if Kendrick wants Drake dead, right? I don't know if it's gotten that far, but it is what it is, right? But for us, right, I think you got to keep your boundaries really strong between you and people who you may or may not believe like you or dislike you. I think you should know who likes you, and I think you should know who dislikes you, and I think you should keep a very, very firm boundary between those people and you, right? I think there's a little too much game of like being friends with people who don't like you, or trying to appease people who don't like you, or, oh, I would never do them like that. Like, nah, bro. Like, have a really strong boundary for that. Number two, build bombs during peacetime so that you're always ready for war. Like, that to me is the biggest takeaway from the whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake situation, is that like Kendrick was just ready. Kendrick has been ready. Kendrick's been ready this whole time, bro. Like, you just got to stay ready, and you just got to be ready. Use hate to spread love. That was one of the things that I realized. Like, the whole reason why this has worked so well for Kendrick is he's not just disliking Drake, right? He's not just dropping records that are dissing Drake and all this kind of stuff, but like at the same time, he's telling people like, yo, this man is a culture vulture. I'm just summarizing. This man is a culture vulture. And at the same time, while we have culture vultures among us, I think it's very important that we all learn to better appreciate the culture that we live in. And for him, for Kendrick, that culture that he's embracing, he just reminded everybody else of what's going on in the rest of the world. For him, he's just like, no, we could be a stronger LA. We could be a tighter West Coast. We could rejuvenate the West Coast sound. Like, we could better appreciate being who we are in all of this, which is the West Coast. Like, I always think about how Kanye used to always say like West Coast rap isn't good, and like a lot of people used to think that, right? West Coast rap wasn't good. It was, and I think it was just niche. But wherever everyone is starting to really come back to that appreciation of that regional sound for the West Coast, and for both LA and the Bay, and man, like, you don't know what this could bring, right? But all of this has kind of been precipitated from the fact that Kendrick started his beef with Drake. So I say use hate for love. Popularity is usually fabricated, bro. And this is going to come back later on as something I say, right? But I think when people think about, you know, who their competitors are and all this kind of stuff, it's I think coming out now that we're all starting to realize that there is fabrication to levels of popularity. And has Drake amassed that level of popularity? He absolutely has. Drake is one of the most popular artists in the world. Do I think that it has all been real? I don't know. I don't think so. I think some of Drake's songs seemed very strategic in how they came out and all the things like that. I don't know, but I do know that with the lawsuit that he's dropping, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come out about Drake himself. So whatever. Manage your relationships so that extra feet don't show up to kick you while you're down. And I think the Drake fan, oh yeah, like, you know, everybody's just coming to pile drive and pile up on Drake and things like that. I could see how that's true, but I think I always say this, and I always think this is that it's everybody's responsibility as adults to manage relationships, right? So that when you are down, there are not people who see it as an opportunity to also jump in and kick you while you're down. So that there's not people that are jumping in to pile up on you while you're down. Kendrick absolutely lit a fire that everyone wanted to light their torches with, including people, The Weeknd, like people like all these other people. And ultimately what it's down to is, bro, those were your people at one point. They were absolutely your people at one point, and you ruined your relationship with them. So do with that what you will. And the last thing, we don't hate enough. I don't think we hate enough. I think every time I've been thinking about this every time. It's been a joke on Twitter, and it's been a joke on other things. But like we are not hating enough. We're not hating the things that hate us enough. We're not hating the things that we're supposed to hate enough. And overall, we simply don't hate enough. I think we dislike a lot of things, and I think we got to upgrade the dislike that we have for things to just overall, like, you got to just hate it. You got to hate it. Like, I hate Walmart. And I have to figure out a way to hate Walmart more. Like, I don't shop at Walmart. I don't like Walmart. I don't like how they treat their employees. I don't like their parking lot. I don't like the way their parking spots are designed. I don't like their colors. I don't like their brand. I don't like the family. I don't like any of it. Like, I don't like any of that. Walmart as a whole. Like, I don't like Elon Musk, right? So I no longer like Teslas. I don't even want to agree with him. If he sneezed, I wouldn't say bless you. Like, I don't like him, right? And I just keep thinking to myself that, like, we all need to hate more. And I'm saying that so seriously, especially with what's coming in 2025. We don't hate enough, right? People drop these lists and they're like, oh, these are the companies that are moving away from DEI, right? Whatever feelings are about DEI, I'm just using that as an example. I don't mind DEI. I don't mind it, right? I've been in enough spaces to see that, damn, y'all could use a little diversity, equity, and inclusion in this room right now. Ideas would sound better, right? I've seen what success looks like at companies that didn't have DEI and companies that did. Like, the ideas flow better. There's more efficiency. Like, you know, people are more pleasant and happy. And it's not just because, oh, you're a DEI hire. There's whatever. I'm going on a tangent. But my whole point is that if you dislike that companies are moving away from DEI, and one of your favorite companies is on that list, hate that company. Like, just hate them. Like, just stop using their services. Oh, you hate that Apple Music's taking away $5.99 from your account? How bad do you hate it? You're on the 87th month of it. right? It's just like, all right, at some point you just need to hate more, right? You need to hate not having money in your bank account. You need to hate what you hate more. Upgrade your hate. That's my biggest takeaway. That is my bullet point number 4 on that list of like what my takeaways from Kendrick Lamar are. So please do with that what you will. All right, I said 12. We're going a little long, but it's cool. So let's see, man. Yo, there is a new social media platform on the block, y'all. There's a new one on the block, and I have to tell y'all about BlueSky. I gotta tell you about BlueSky, bro. I gotta tell you about BlueSky. BlueSky is what we wanted Twitter to continue to be at the height of Twitter's reign, right? There was an era where everyone started being like, oh my goodness, I miss old Twitter and things like that, right? And BlueSky is now here. I jumped on the BlueSky bandwagon. I wanted to tell y'all this as well with Twitter. I have officially completely jumped ship from Twitter. Like, why? Because I hate Elon Musk. Like, I hate Elon Musk. I don't know how else to tell you guys this, right? I just hate what I hate, and I hate who I hate, and I don't support them. And so I sat down one day and I just really thought about it, and I was like, yo, where does Twitter fit into my social media strategy? You know, what priority level is it at? I have the most amount of followers of any platform on Twitter, 3,500. But I also realized that my engagement on Twitter was probably the lowest of any social media platform that I have. And also it's not pleasant. Like, the overall experience is not pleasant. And it's constantly changing in ways that Elon Musk wants to change. So I just jumped ship. And I heard about this platform called BlueSky because I know that Jack Dorsey, the former creator and founder of Twitter, created BlueSky. And then I decided to give it a shot. I put myself on the waiting list last year. And then at some point I was approved, went on there. And I remember getting on and being like, yo, this looks just like Twitter. Like, at first I was annoyed with it. Then come election season and your boy, Mr. Orange, won. And y'all, I just want to tell you guys that the BlueSky experience is legitimately what we had when we initially created Black Twitter. I am honestly under the idea that wherever we go on the internet, we are the driving force behind culture and creativity. And there is now, on BlueSky, there is now Black Sky, and Vine Sky, and Batty Sky, and My Sky, and Your Sky, and Sky, right? It feels like an old Twitter, but with more control. One of my favorite things about BlueSky is that you control everything you see, so you can control your feed, you can control who you're blocking. You don't have to individually block people. There's like starter packs that people can create, and they're sharing it out saying, hey, these are all of the bots that we found. As soon as you like the list or you subscribe to the list, it automatically blocks all the bots, all the bigots, all the racists, all with bad intentions, the random dog pictures, all of that. Like, it's really, really dope. And there's just a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of culture and creativity going on right now on BlueSky. So asking you guys, does that sound like it's gonna convert you to jump on BlueSky or not? I'm on there. I'm already getting my wings underneath me. People already have 7,000 followers. It's insane, y'all. It is insane, but it's really dope. It's really, really dope to see. So interested to see how you guys get on that, or how it continues on. They've been doing this nightly dating show already called Sky Island, right? Which is like a play on like Love Island. The owner, the CEO, Jay Graper, she mentioned and confirmed that instead of tweets, they're skeets. So you know, you wake up in the morning, let me get these skeets off. Like it's fucking bananas, right? But it's new and it's raw and it's authentic, which is a really good contrast against Threads, which I don't feel like is authentic. Like Threads just feels super forced. It's a lot of engagement baiting on there, and it's just overall weird. So I'm not really a big fan of Threads, but you get a chance to see a lot of people from your city in there. There's a lot of Twitter people. I mean, a lot of people from Tampa on Threads, but they're also wildly enough, they're just it's a lot of engagement bait. So I'm not a big fan. But yeah, check out BlueSky. Follow me on BlueSky if you're moving that direction. It is good to not have to be a marketer. It is good to be able to find a platform where you can organically be yourself and just people just gravitate towards it. And you have conversations about real stuff that's happening in your world and happening in the world around you, and just be able to connect with people in real time. So check that out. Last but not least, topics on the docket. We are officially, like I mentioned, Art Basel week. As you see here, may the art outlive the fart, baby, because there's a lot of bullshit going on out there in terms of the art world. But man, I'm really looking forward to being in the city, to being in Miami this weekend, and checking that out. So I'll just kind of briefly say, yo, if you're in Miami this weekend, hit me up. I am Alex Auguste. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on BlueSky. Hit me up on on the gram. Send me a message, whatever. But just let me know, man, because I'm down to be down there and create and connect with people and just do dope shit while we're in the city, enjoying the art. You know, I have up here Art Basel, Art Week, Soul Basel. Art Basel as a real exhibit, they've cracked down a lot on the use of that name, which I think they should. I think they should, right? There's a lot of Art Basel edition, Art Basel weekend editions, and things like that, but there's no central place to find all of the happenings of Art Basel. So if you just separate the convention center exhibit from what's going on in the rest of the city, it does allow for some form of a centralized view or a website or a guide. So a lot of folks are creating guides for events. I have a guide myself, which I'm going to be dropping in my Discord channel tonight. So if you haven't already done so, definitely check out my Discord channel to get that guide and find out all of the dope things that are happening, as well as other things, right? In my Discord channel, we were actually just on there for about an hour talking about freaking conspiracy theories and challenging each other and all that. But it's a place where, you know, if you're a creative or if you want to be a creative or if you want to be engaged with that and support, you can be in the Discord channel and just hop in with us. Be really in there as a means of communication, chat, talking about news and things like that. So definitely check that out. Like I said, I'm going to be dropping my guide to Art Basel in there. Good friend and good homie and former USF Bull alumni of mine, Mark Clennon, has an exhibit in Miami this weekend. So I'm going to be checking that out, along with a multitude of different events, parties, and the whole thing. My goal really is to go down, connect with more people, and connect back with the city. I've never really, in all of my time away from Miami, which is now almost 7. Wait, whoa, is it 16 years yet? Yeah, 16 years. Wow, 16 years away from Miami, kind of drilled into the foundation of creating opportunities there like that. So really, really interested in doing that, and I think something's coming down the pipes. But with Art Week, that's, you know, your Wynwoods, your events around the city, and then Soul Basel, which I'm super excited and interested in, is going to be taking place historic Overtown district with the Harlem of the South theme and the vibe. That's Red Rooster. That's the Urban. So I'm going to be down there checking that out. And like I say here on this photo, man, may the art outlive the fart. Just looking at this photo, and I'm just like, They really bought a banana on a wall for $200 million, y'all. It's actually really, really crazy. So yeah, man, just wanted to kind of touch those bases with y'all real quick, man. But now that we're here, let's start getting ourselves ready for this little session here. We're going to be doing this this creation session where I'm going to show you guys how I go about creating videos. This is not the standard format for videos that I'm creating for everyone. This is kind of this or every video that I create as a whole. This is more of a standard format for videos that I create if I am working with a second party or a third party. Excuse me, y'all. And you know, the most important thing really is that I have to communicate this, and I have to communicate. Don't essentially live in my head. And so, you know, I use this as a means of kind of digging into that. So I'm going to make sure that this is going to work first and foremost, and then we'll take it from there. So let's do this. I'm going to take a quick little bit of a break here, and then I will jump back in to make sure everything is nice and set. And so y'all enjoy the music, and I will be just right back briefly, literally. All right, y'all. We're back on. We are officially back on. And with that being said, yo, I'm going to go right into just getting this whole thing started. I want to make sure I was nice and situated and make sure that this is going to run correctly. So let's give this a shot. There we go. All right. So this is a platform that I've been using, man. It's called Milanote. And I think I might have talked about this for some time in the past. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to switch cameras for a quick second. Let me see if I can add an extra camera here. That way you guys will have a different angle for me, and I can kind of turn away. That's not how we doing it. All right, let's see. It's cool. We'll have multiple camera angles. All right, there we go. So with this, man, this is really how I go about creating these videos. And I this is actually a skeleton from one of the other videos that I did that actually just didn't end up going through. So what I usually do with these videos, man, is I kind of come to this, create these headings, shot lists. I know what equipment I'm going to be shooting with, so this is kind of standard. I use all of this all the time. But you'll see here I got Google Pixel Pro 7 Pro, which is my cell phone. The waterproof Pixel case comes in shot, and I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. You just never know when you're going to want a really dope underwater shot. The DJI Pocket Osmo 3, which is old faithful, and then I have this newer car mount, which will allow me then to add the camera actually to the body of my car or any car that's going to be in the shoot, and allow for us to get some dynamic shots, some street shots, and things like that. What I'm also going to add here are the newer magnetic mini lights. Those come in clutch too. So color themes for my birthday. What am I thinking? Definitely all black. Might even incorporate some black and white. And this is how I literally, bro, this is how I do it. I just spitball all of the ideas, and I'd rather have more ideas written down than not enough ideas written down. I might be lagging a little bit. So let me just make sure that visually this is on par. Just double checking real quick. Use. All right, there we go. Sorry, just had to check on the speed of this video. So yeah. So what we do, so what I'll add here, black and white. I know that I love a good brown, but I also really want to incorporate this this blue. I have to do my ox bloods and my burgundies. And what else color would I really like to add? Orange, right? So these are some themes. I know it sounds like a lot right now. You're probably just like black and blue and ox blood and orange don't go together. But it'll come together pretty well. It will come together pretty well. And then from there, styling of clothing. So I'm turning 35, y'all, which kind of brings me back to the whole like kingdom come thing, which is like you just kind of get to a point where you want to get an elevated feel. Like you want to, like, I feel like the next era of my own personal life is really on some like, it's two things that I immediately think of when I'm thinking about turning 35. And one of those elements is just like constantly evolving, right? Evolution happening almost all the time. Like this kind of being really the highest level of evolution that I've ever been in my life. Like being on some real like get money, getting to the bag, doing things right, releasing the old mistakes and the old habits, things that don't serve you. And then the other side of that is revisiting this theme of like certainty, being certain of myself, being certain of visions, being certain of how I move, where I move, what I do, and everything like that. And then with that certainty, also being like the certainty of a villain. And not saying that I want to be a villain. I'm not saying anything like, oh, I'm in my villain era. Like, not that, but just overall, just kind of like, listen, this is the thing that I'm after. And we're just going at it with like unwavering fervor. So that's what I think about. So with the style of clothing that I think about, I'm almost thinking about, dressed up, something dressed up, casual, dressed up casual, like dressy casual, styled, very trimmed and fitting, blazers and dress shoes, things like that. Equipment. This is listed twice. Interesting enough. Oh, that's because we have multiple locations. Okay. So let's do this. We move this over here, and I love this because this platform is drag and drop. So this is legitimately a board. The vibe. So we can go with location. We'll go location 2 over here. Why is that so small? We'll do shot list over there. Where's the other shot list? Okay, shot list down here. The vibe. She got she parties all the time. And it doesn't have to be this like organized. I'm moving these headers around because I'm just trying to I'm actually trying to compensate for some other things that I'm going to be bringing in here. So this stuff is going to kind of move around a lot because talk about our first. All right, so review, and what I can do is I can just drag this right here and start typing. And by the way, y'all, more than likely when it comes time to end this video, I'm really gonna start a secondary stream over on my Patreon where I could blast the Jay-Z louder because there's no copyright, and I could, it would be a complete like VividLife TV uncut. And I don't know if I really want to say uncut yet. We're still kind of feeling that out because that sounds a little off-putting maybe. But yeah, we'll be able to continue this over on the Patreon side. I'm still continue. I'm gonna get through a lot of this and just show like how I'm thinking of it and how I'm creating this. But I just want to make sure that I keep that up there for y'all as folks jump in here. So let me actually just share a few things. Check on some stuff here. All right. So the overview of the video, oops. Y'all know me with my videos, I want to be very cinematic. So I would type and talk at the same time, but I'm literally thinking as I'm writing all these things and kind of going from there. So it says, I don't know if you guys can read it's a little hazy, but it says the theme of the video is an aggressive choice for more evolution. The theme is more. In this new era of Alex Auguste just might be the villain, says the video. More money, more creation, more attitude, more choices, more outcomes. And I kind of, man, I actually want this to sound, man, I'm getting excited, dog. All right. More. All right, cool. So we got, and if I'm having any issues, y'all, feel free to hit me in. It's 9:30 and we got 15 minutes left. But I'm gonna try to get through as much of this as possible so you guys can see it. Because this is dope. I think I'm losing connection. We might be struggling. I should always listen. All right. One final piece here. All right, so we're gonna cap that off now because I can't see this being any easier on our setup here. We're kind of losing a lot of our good quality on our video. But listen, that's kind of just an overview, a general overview of this. I know I've used a lot of time for the overall, conversation, the topic on the docket. But I want to invite you guys to check out the Patreon channel. I'm actually going to do my first live stream over on that side where I'll be able to just kind of focus a little bit more without this kind of, hunkering down and clunkering up my internet feed and my internet speeds. So if you want to check that out, definitely jump over there. Let's give it to about, we'll end this a little early. So this is 9:17. We'll end in 3 minutes. But we should be back over there sometime around like 9:30. So I'll do a members only. Well, it won't be a members only stream, but I'll make sure I stream and just make it let it be allowed for everyone that signs up, basically. So sign up on Patreon. Join me for the stream over there. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be really, really cool. It's gonna be really, really dope. Looking forward to having you guys over there. I'll be able to put the music up a little bit more and actually like dig into this in a way that makes sense so you guys can see how much the creations and how fast I move. And I'm also going to time it just so I can see how fast I'm able to move on all of this. So, I appreciate you guys for tuning in to VividLife TV. Alex Auguste. You guys know that I enjoy streaming so much with y'all. I enjoy creating these videos with y'all. I truly do appreciate y'all support, whether coming to the shows, whether it's being in the Discord, whether it's following me on social media, or as we see next, being part of the creation of this video and the whole 9 yards. The videography is kind of really rolling along, and I feel the opportunities coming, and I feel myself getting so much better at this, and growing in it as a whole. So I appreciate you guys' support, and I'm glad that so many of you guys wake up every day and, you know, shout back, "It's a new damn day" to me on the gram and on everything like that. So looking forward to having you guys as part of the Patreon experience, because in the Patreon experience, you don't really make sense for sharing on social media. You guys get to see all of the things that are more behind the scenes, things that are more raw. I shared a video recently about the process of creating a song, one of my songs, The Tourist 2. And man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that was hard to share. That was really hard to share, because it is kind of the awkward phase of what we do as creators, right? Everybody's so concerned with like the finished product. Well, did you put the song on Spotify yet? Well, did you put the song? Where can I listen to the song? It's a song on Apple Music. And it's like, do you like the song? You know what I mean? Like, do you like, and for me, you know, just being able to say that like I've created something is like, nah, there was days where the lyrics didn't make any sense. We can go to LA, we can go to DC, we can go to the auto show. Like, it was just, you know, just random stuff like that. But I shared that video because I feel like that's the level of rawness, that's the level of transparency that I really want to have with a lot of my content as I go forward. And the bigger the projects as they come, y'all, listen, lean in, come here, lean in. Okay, lean in all the way in. Good. Center my eyes right there. Perfect. The bigger these projects become, okay, y'all not gonna get this. Y'all not gonna get this. So let the projects be like these projects right now, where we're at right now. Like, eat that up. Eat that up, because it's only gonna get doper from here, y'all. It's only gonna get doper. It's only gonna get bigger. Like, I'm telling you, the theme for 2025 is more, bro. It's only going to get bigger, better. There's gonna be ERs on the end of every single word, bro. And so I really want to just say, ride with me now. Ride with me now. I know it looks pieced up, it's patchy sometimes, like my beard. But like, it's coming together, man. And the things that you get to see on the other side of kind of being on my side of the suite, it's dope. It's not always pretty, but it's dope. It's really dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is raw, and you get to see just how creative I am. I just wanted to drop that. Join the Patreon. Like I said, I'm going to join that. Hop over there and get the whole thing set up for you guys, and then I will be in here just jamming, vibing, listening to some Jay-Z and listening to my whole playlist, and creating my birthday video, and then allowing you guys to really do some Q&A and the whole nine, and also using your multitask feature, because I know when you guys got an iPhone, y'all are so used to being in the ghetto, and you guys don't hate what you hate strong enough. You don't hate that you can't multitask on your YouTube on your iPhone. So you guys stay with it, and then just get the next model and just keep going, every model and every model and every model after that. And then you guys making my problem that you can't check your text messages and hear me talking on YouTube at the same time. So I'm just really trying to like accommodate you guys just a little bit, but not really that much. I just really fuck with the Patreon concept. And that's why one of the reasons why I'm rolling with it. I don't know if it has a multitask feature. I hope so, for your benefit, because you just don't hate what you hate enough. But likewise, y'all, I want to wrap it up, and I will be signing out. I love y'all. Enjoy your nights. And if I see you on the Patreon side, I will be excited to see you there, and we'll have a good night.